waking up every day and trying to figure out something to do that keeps you productive is probably one of the most annoying things in my personal opinion. That's just because I didn't think I was gonna make it this far. As well as my communication style isn't the best. It's either avoidant attachment or blunt and awkward. And what I mean by that is either I'm going to tell you directly or I'm just going to avoid the topic altogether because at the end of the day, I've mentally just collected the fact that certain information I give to you, certain information I can't give to you, and the information I was trying to give to you, I realized was the information I can't be given to you. So therefore, fuck you. Not like fuck you, like I want to actually rail you somewhere, but like fuck you as in, well, it is what it is till it isn't. And everything has a time limit, everything has an expiration date, everything eventually corrodes and or dies and or it separates and or depletes and or just changes. So therefore, with the life expectancy of most human relationships or most human lifespans, I expect it to at least only take about half a month, maybe a week, maybe even a couple days for it to dissipate to a point where it's like, I wanted to tell you something, but now you don't exist anymore in my world, at least. Because to assume that you're dead is, well, very dumb and I don't really know how, aside from dumb, it is of me just to assume that you've passed away. But also, for as crazy as life is, who's to say that you're still alive? I just know you're not alive in my world, and that's all that really matters to me. That I don't really have to integrate, interact, or even cohabitate with you. So that means the conversation I found difficult or even didn't figure how to even bring up now doesn't even need to be had because at the end of the day, well, the day ended and we never had the conversation and nothing has really changed. So in my theory, in my mindset, then was that really a conversation I needed to be had, or was it just a conversation that my head likes to play inside my mind? Because it is a rip. If you think I say some crazy shit, imagine the shit that I don't say. Somehow it's approved through my own little thoughts and pattern recognition. Typically, what gets yays, what gets boos. And the thing about me is I'm naturally funny, and I say it like that because I don't even generally think I'm funny. Although I do think of how my mind works, or how I try to get to work is entertain myself so others don't have to entertain me. So therefore, well, entertain myself so others don't have to entertain me, as well as don't act so weird they imprison me because X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Because you don't necessarily need to be guilty. You just need to fit a description as well as upset the group to the point where they turn to a mob and now you're in trouble. And for the fact that people that look like me tend to be thrown in jail for less shit than people that look like that, it's not my fault that the system plays favorites. And at the end of the day, most people that I feel as if are aware will admit, yeah, there's a favoritism in this world. And I realize there's a favoritism because the only way to make people divide is you give one person a leg up. Now, everybody hates that one person, even though that one person's still getting fucked. It's just they're not getting fucked as hard in certain ways. Like when it comes to guilty before being innocent before being proven guilty. Some people will always be innocent until they're proven guilty, and some people will always be guilty even when they're proven innocent. And it's just like, wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. So y'all know this motherfucker is innocent, and y'all still let them sit in prison? Is it because they look like me? Or is it because, nah, it can't be because they look like them. It's because they look like me or something different, isn't it? But it wasn't that, was it? No, I don't think it was that. Either way, it still doesn't mean that they are favored. It's just legally they are favored. Sports-wise, I'm favored, in a sense. I remember that in school. Growing around with you like that. They were like, "Oh, we got one of these in our school. Let's try to use it." Ooh, he ain't one of those. He a comic book convention one of those, isn't he? No, I hate being around people. Honestly, I need to be. Like, for money, I'm willing to do a lot of things. Not everything, not anything. A lot. Listen closely. A lot. Not anything, not everything. A lot. But also, the currency, the value, and then realizing that money is only valuable if the person is willing to accept the money coming from you, because you could have $100,000, try to give it to somebody to buy something, but because they don't like you people being higher up, they don't like your attitude, they ain't gotta sell it to you. They don't care about your money, they ain't gotta sell it to you. Like, just because you got it don't mean they want it, and just because they want what you got don't mean they want it from you. So therefore, personality. I do believe I have a personality, but I also believe it's also kind of an issue. But I don't know, it just really all depends. I think more or less regurgitating information that's been given to me, but when I think of the things that I do personally, and then when I think of other reviews, I'm like, yeah, they do have negative reviews, but 9 times out of 10, the negative reviews are because I'm not listening to the things that they want me to do. And the things that they want me to do are things that they're unwilling to do, and they need a fall guy for, and me being willing and, oh, I'm willing to help you. I helped you out, but now I'm stuck in this position, and now you're gone, and, well, I don't like this disposition, so, So I learned like most people that learn like me through trial and error, through trial and error, through trial and error. Maybe the I don't know. Of the 150 experiences I've had with you, 120 of them were unpleasant. I have no idea why I keep thinking, due to at least the feel and the track that I have with you, that, like I said, of 150, 120 unpleasant. So that's like about 30 pleasant experiences, and that could span from years to even a couple months. It just all depends on how frequently you see somebody. And then you want me to try to pretend that, yes, you do have bad days, but most of them are bad? Yes, sometimes you're hard to deal with, but most of the time? Yes, you're difficult, but always? Just about. I'm just saying, like, one person's, I can't do this, is another person. Hey, you pleasure to me. I don't know how you treat everybody else, but I'm just blessed to be around you, even though sometimes, yeah, you might be a little bit aggressive, but I don't feel threatened. Yeah, you might be a little bit forward and blunt, but I could throw that back at you too, and you don't seem to be mad at me when I'm just as blunt, so fuck it, why not? Yeah, you could be a little bit sporadic, but shit, so am I. So, what you trying to do? Because I'm trying to do something too. Let's see if we can align this shit together. Either way, at the end of the day, I realize the way that my mind works and the way that most of the world works, or at least the people I tend to be around, shit. Even the room full of weird people, somehow I figure out to be the weirdest person, which is like, the more that I think about it, the more I'm realizing the people that know, they just assume that I know, so they're not going to tell me, because, well, why would I tell you something that you already know? Good question. Good question. Because, like, that's how I feel about compliments half the time, and I don't take them well either. Because, like, people will say shit to me, and I'm just like, eh. And that's just because younger me was taught not to have an ego or not to be so big-headed and inflated, as well as I've realized when I do start to feel myself, I swear that's when my clothes start to get caught in shit. That's why I start slamming my fingers into shit. Like, I swear, even my body tells me I can't even feel myself up. So it's just like, yeah, you're right, I am strong. You're right, I am quick with it. You're right, I am smart. You're right, you're right. So, and then saying you're right kind of does seem pretentious and kind of dickish and prudish. So it's like, not prudish. It just seems very, yeah, you're right, I am strong. Yes, you're right, I am smart. Yes. Or I could be like, thanks for noticing. I don't know. There's multiple responses. My best response is just not to respond, because at the end of the day, yes, I heard you, but what? I believe what the fuck you just said. I don't know. Maybe I should just start saying agreed. Damn, you look good today. Agreed. Wow, those are some cool shoes. Agreed. Dang, man, you got a nice smile. Agreed. But normally it's either throw a compliment back if I can think of something nice to say, because I generally want to say things out of generosity compared to just, oh, they compliment me, so I'm gonna compliment it. Nah, I don't work like that. I don't fuck. I know I'm running with mental funds. Back to the point. So I just, like I said, more or less, either I think to compliment them back, but 9 times out of 10, I'm just like, and I keep moving. I know I'm socially awkward. That's why I keep leaning into the bitch. I was wondering if everyone else will get it, but it's understanding that there's blind people, there are colorblind people, there are illiterate people, and they're not all like that because they're blind. There are people that are going to see it and get it. There are going to be people that see it and don't get it. And there's going to be people that see it and don't care to get what it could possibly be. They just see it. And how else could I break it down? I am who I am regardless if you believe that I'm acting or being myself. And the way that you perceive me will always be the way that you perceive me. And some people just think, oh, you're acting weird. Only when I'm at work. If I ain't in a work uniform, this is me. This is raw. This is E. Full energy. Full energy. I ain't come here to be your enemy. I'm trying to be your G. Trying to be real C. They don't want to see me in my raw energy. That's why they say, calm down, E. Calm down, E. Stop running through the halls, nigga. Calm down, E. Calm down, E. I'm just trying to speed run life. I don't want to see. I don't want to see. They keep screaming, calm down, E. Calm down, E. I'm just trying to speedball life. I ain't trying to see. I ain't even smoked yet. That's besides the point. One thing Senior told me, and I think some people will notice if they haven't already, the difference between sober me and high me is the energy. And if you haven't met me sober, then you'll never know the difference between sober me and high me. And of all the videos I have, about 4.xk could be about 5. I just haven't had all of them posted. There's a bunch still in my unlisted. But either way, of the 4,000 videos, I could probably say, because I can't say honestly, and I'm not gonna dig through hundreds. I wouldn't say hundreds of hours of videos, but it could be hundreds of hours of videos because they're fucking 3-minute longs, 50 minutes. There's a couple videos that are at least an hour long, hour and a half. There's at least one that's 2 hours. I know that for sure. I ain't doing that shit again. Well, I don't intend to either way. But there's, yeah, it could be about 100 hours worth of video, if not hundreds. I don't know. I don't know. It's not my job to figure out. There's probably going to be somebody at some point in my time. That is something I learned about myself. In stages, I get this random chick, which could be the same person, just in different bodies. If you believe in the things I believe in. If you don't, I'm crazy. But you already know that, don't you? And if you don't know that, and it's already 11 minutes in the video, then what the fuck were you paying attention to? Back to the point. So, I meet this chick in the same body. Not the same body. I meet this energy in the same body. And I don't know how to explain this aside from, like, she's over. She's overindulgent in me to the point where I feel like I'm the weird type of person where if you're too into me, that's weird. But if you're not into me enough, that's weird. I know that's toxic. I need to fix that. Like, it's all right to want to be around me. It's all right to want to wear my clothes. But get the fuck out my skin. I don't even like the feel of my skin half the times. I think that's the main, like, the reason why I feel as if I have such hard issues when it comes to relationship-wise is because I've been independent basically all my life. And I know that's going to sound weird, but let me explain my story a little bit more. So growing up from Haiti, living in America, I had adopted siblings, parents, blah, 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 that, and coming from a community where everybody's disabled. Yeah, no, this one's true. Everyone's disabled to a degree, regardless if you're aware of it mentally and or physically. So lady of the house, I can't tell you what she had, but if I had to guess, it was like bipolar and some other shit. Old man, definitely ADHD and some other shit. Can't tell you exactly. Just because they didn't have any they didn't have any medical records I could read through to actually figure out what they had, and they didn't tell me. But also learning from just life in general, some people have things that they don't know about, and other people be like, oh, I noticed. I thought you knew. That's why I didn't say anything. Well, I tell things about things that people already know. Let's not talk about the elephant in the room. Everybody knows it. Wait, y'all can't see the elephant in the room? How are we going to break it that there's an elephant in the room? Back to the point. So, definitely ADHD from the information I've learned. Lady of the house could be, she has a personality disorder. I say bipolar just because of the experience I had, and like the main reason why I say it's bipolar is not only my experience, but also I've come to notice there's kind of a track history in my dating scene, or at least the women I'm interested in, which I feel like that deeply seeps back into my childhood without me even cognitively being aware, because the subconscious is so damn smart, it's stupid. So the main reason why I'm leaning towards bipolar is because I feel like some of the women I pursue kind of reminds me of home, which wasn't a good place to be at. So therefore, the lady of the house was always at the house. The old man, well, not necessarily always. If she wasn't doing medical trips, she was terrorizing the house. If she wasn't terrorizing the house, she was sleeping. It's one of the three. Either she's taking one of the kids out to fucking Ann Arbor or medical, or even the cousin, or she is in the house buying shit, terrorizing, yelling, cussing, blah, this and blah, that, and then blaming me if the kids learn how to swear. Or she's sleeping. Back to the damn point, though. So, Daniel, mind of a 21-year-old, Juan, double amputee, who's after Juan? Drew, autism, Libby, autism, varying forms of autism too, because that's another reason why it took me so long to even think that I could be autistic, because I'm like, I'm autistic. Like, I don't bang my chin, I don't walk on my toes all the time, but I do listen to it. YouTube knows. there will be songs I will listen to so many times. I just thought that was a normal thing to do. For me, it is. There's a lot of things I think is normal for everyone, but normality is what you do in your day, in your life, what you're used to, your consistency. There is no normal outside of the field of your existence, because what's normal to your world is abnormal to other people's world, more or less. Because some people might live the same, where it's like, oh, you all wake up at 6:30, but They go west to work, you go east to work. Oh, y'all might wake up at 6 and they might wake up at 7:15, but y'all still go to work. Either way, back to the point. Libby, autistic. Drew, autistic. I know there's another one up there by Drew. Skylar, she had, no, Libby also had fetal alcohol on top of autism. I forgot. Some of these disabled siblings had more than one thing. Skylar, she was a paraplegic and cerebral palsy and wheelchair ridden, like, at least for 3 years, maybe 2.5. I don't remember. I did not keep count. I didn't make any content of it just because, one, I didn't think about it, and then two, it was such an early morning task. So what I'm getting at is, before I graduated high school, because I remembered I had to wake up early, get her into her bath chair, that chair, and I was still going to fucking school. That shit was annoying. And then, if, because there was a little bit where I was out of school, I remember I used to help them get off the bus. But at this point in my existence, I was so used to being that little helper to the point where it's just like, yay. That's where I don't use much of a joke anymore, but like, one of my jokes used to be, I got so many years in caregiving, I wish it was a job. To learn it is a fucking job. Back to the point. Past Skylar, there was, or Skylar might have been before Libby. I don't remember. I just remember I'm a little bit farther down the list. Brian, shaken baby syndrome. I already talked on Drew. Me, open heart surgery. Deja, I don't remember what was wrong with Deja, but I do know that cognitively she was not there. I don't think she was a paraplegic because, like, I could see her, like, she would sit on her legs. I think, like, if she might have had the mental capacity, she could use her legs, but I don't really know. It was Deja. I just remember she was younger than me. Richard, sickle cell anemia, and probably a behavioral issue. Ebony, aplesia, and Down syndrome. Dougie, Down syndrome. And David was the only one that was, like, he had a disability, but of all of them, aside from mine, it's the least noticeable. No. If you talk to me a little bit more, you'll be like, what's wrong with his head? What? There's something fine a little bit different in there. You keep talking like he normal and shit. He don't know what the fuck normal is. And you're 100% right. I ain't never been sober a day in my life, but people assume I know what sobriety is. It's like a half joke, just because I feel like the chemical reactions in my brain just make me feel like I'm always on something. And as somebody that has been a connoisseur of a couple different things, I've come to realize I don't know what sobriety is. And for some reason, weed feels like I'm more sober than me actually being sober. And I can't explain that anymore, aside from people that have brains like mine that can really grasp, like, I get what he's saying. And for other people, like, oh, he's using his codependentness. All right, Mr. Miss, I need my coffee in the morning. Okay, Mr. Miss, don't talk to me until I have my cigarette. Okay, Mr. Miss, don't talk to me until my yoga. Okay, Mr. Miss, because, inclusiveness. Don't do XYZ until I've done my XYZ. Yeah, I got something. And you probably do it too. Either way. Where was I getting with this? I don't think I was going anywhere aside from just explaining my abnormalities even more and wider and trying to over-explain things that I've over-explained in countless other videos, but because every new video is a new crowd, every new crowd's a new audience, all this and all that, and maybe sometimes I just need to update the fact that I'm still wild, I'm still crazy, I'm still probably autistic and ADHD, as well as a touch of acute schizophrenic, but at the end of the day, a doctor ain't approved shit that I say, so I'm just making shit up because you're not going to self-diagnose yourself, even though we will consider you smart and witty, but you're not smart enough to know things like that. That takes a degree and years of money sent to the American government system that will eventually put you into debt and you'll never be able to use that degree. College tuition goes to fucking college, not government. Either way, what I'm getting at is, regardless if I'm telling the truth or not, I don't have reason to lie most of the times. I'm just telling the truth from what I think is the truth. So you figure out yourself. You probably know the answer, but you're not going to tell me because you assume I know the answer. And I just told you what I thought the answer was, but yet again, agreed. I think I'm gonna start using that for insults too, especially if it matches. Damn, Ethan, you're a bad listener. Agreed. Because sometimes I'll be looking right at you, trying to read your lips, and for some reason, whatever you're saying is not making any sense to me. So I'm like, say it one time. Can you say it one? And the crazy part is, it could be just as quiet as it is right here, and I still can't hear you, standing right next to your ass. And I don't know why. I don't know. I just know I'm abnormal. Some people are entertained by it. Some people are annoyed by it. Some people don't even notice. Who am I kidding? Most people notice, but at the end of the day, if it's not my monkey, it's not my circus. Where the fuck are my monkeys? Where the fuck did I leave my circus? This is my belief system. I don't know about yours.